Today's episode of Chat and Chew is sponsored by Redwood Creative Crew. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, hit the bell to activate notifications that will remind you when we're on. Please be sure to leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Greetings once again to our Chat and Chew broadcast. My name is Dr. Glenn Warren, and I'll be your host for today. We have a very, very exciting news, and we want to talk about some of the things that Father Forever have been doing for the last number of years. As you recall, we started Father Forever in 2008, where we were primarily in the child support courtroom, receiving referrals for guys who are risk of going to jail for non-child support. We also work with domestic violence. People will refer to Father Forever program to make sure that they're doing the things they need to do for their family, for their kids. And so in 2017, though, we launched another leg of Fathers Forever. And that leg is our supportive housing, which we are very, very proud of that we've been doing since 2017. We started out with only 4 beds in Wake County at 2017. And now we have escalated to 48 beds. We provide services. These are guys who are coming back to back to the community, to Wake County primarily, and they have received, they've done their time in the pillow system. Now they're getting back to their families, reunified with their families. They're in need of housing. A lot of these guys don't want to go back to the houses, to the neighborhood, the community they was in, lots of reasons. Sometimes because now they're felon, they can't go back to live with their family members who may be getting supportive housing. Also, sometimes that is the neighborhood that they got in trouble with. And they don't want to go back there because they want to get a better life. They want to start brand new. So they choose Wake County to come to have a new start. And one of the criteria is so they have to be on probation or parole, and they have to be homeless. And these guys are referred to us from another number of agencies, and we take them through our 90-day housing program. And this houses, we have 5 houses, a total of 48 beds. And this is not just a place where they can come just to get housing. We do a host of wraparound services from helping them find jobs, to help them get back with their family, job seeking. We do a lot of wraparound services. And in the studio today, we're going to be talking about some of those wraparound services that we do provided for those individuals. But before I get into my guest today, I want to look at some of the stats, some of the statistics that we've done over the course of 2017. We have served 1,087 men have been served in our transition houses, 90 days or 120 days, to get back in their on track with their lives, their families, getting employment, you living their dreams and their purpose, and being the best there that they can be. Since in January alone, we had 11 men who came to our program, 7 of them who come to our substance abuse grant that we have. 17 men have received grooming, and 7 men have completed our CPR training. And we're going to go through all of those things that we've done. Every month, we keep stat of how many men come to our program and what they're benefiting and how we are providing the services that they need. So without further ado, we're going to get into our discussion today with 3 individuals that have been working with us. And I'll let them introduce themselves to our audience, and they'll tell you what they do. And we're going to have a conversation about how we are making a difference in the lives of these men. So first of all, I have sitting to my left, G. This happens to be my my son. He's our operation manager. Welcome to the broadcast. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
My name is G. Warren. I go by G because we have the same name. So to
Go figure, right?
to eliminate confusion, they call him Dr. Warren, Mr. Glenn. They call me G. I'm the oldest of three. I have 3 kids, 2 of which is in college, and one which is in elementary school. He's a handful, and so I go into my job description now.
No, they just went to the show right now.
All right, I'll let you.
Are you married?
I'm married. I didn't say married.
Yeah,
3
you
kids.
did.
I didn't say 3 kids. I said
You said 3 kids.
Married.
You said about married.
Yes, married with 3 kids. Yes. Then
Jamie Williams. I'm the assistant operations manager. I was actually one of the 1,087 guys that Father Silver has served. I came here about 6 years ago, and I do everything to help Father Silver grow.
All right, Tommy.
Okay, Tommy Warren, and I'm a case manager at Fathers Forever for all the houses. Kind of help the guys when they first come in and get acclimated to find a job, get ideas, so student cards, and talents. And I do a lot of one-on-one, the individual sessions with them, and do a little bit of everything else too.
Okay. So G is our let's say he's the operation manager. For the most part, he makes sure that operations are everything from the houses are taken care of. Jamie's his assistant. Jamie's also a house monitor as well. Jamie does do a host of jobs within Wake County. I mean, within Father Forever. And Tommy, we call him our mobility case manager. He does a lot of transportation. He's a former owner of his own transportation company. He's also a former case manager. And so we brought him to the table to help transport guys back and forth to places they need to be. He brings the guys on Monday night for classes. He takes them to the different services. A lot of guys come to us. They don't have licenses. They don't have ways to get around. Sometimes they come from other counties. They're Tommy very instrumental in helping them get trained on the bus, whether he trained or let some other guys train them, and get them back and forth to the destination that they need to get to. We want to talk about G. Talk about, as an operation manager, what are some of your roles? What are some of your daily things that you do with the guys?
I tell everybody I have, yes, I'm an operation manager. So I oversee all 5 houses, everything that does with anything, whether it be food, transportation, intakes, stuff like that. I also gave my own job description, which is my primary job is to make sure his legacy lives on. So nobody or nothing can stop this from happening. That's why I'm here. That's my primary goal, is to make sure everything goes down without a hitch. The operation manager part of it is just a part of that. Ain't wrong. Me and Jamie had a conversation before where I said nobody's going to deviate or tarnish what he's trying to do here. So that's my biggest job description. When it comes to operation manager, yes, I oversee 5 houses. Me and Jamie coordinate with the schedule. I coordinate with POs on a daily basis, whether it be phone conversations, emails, visits. I also supply haircuts to the guys. Every guy gets a haircut. They get a coaching session. We have weekly Zooms that I run to inform staff and POs about what's going on in houses. I try to make sure the communication is as best as possible.
So Jamie stated earlier, Jamie came to us. There's a little story about Jamie. He has risen in the ranks over the last 6 years to assistant operation manager. He helps with the overall operation of Father Forever. We have a whole lot of different things that we do. So Jamie is one of the assistants. But Jamie came to us like he did 6 years ago. Actually, I did Jamie's intake, sitting at the table, and we kept on talking about his his family and his kids and all that. And he wants to come. This is his home city, hometown. And he started, went through the 90-day program. He asked for an extension. We gave him that extension. Somebody got him 20 days. And then I needed some coverage for one of the houses for a couple hours. I asked Jamie. He said, yeah. And then, long story short, Jamie we started asking him more to do more things. And he said, yeah, he started doing more things. And Jamie's intention, I'll let him share this, that he was only going to be with us for a couple of weeks. It had been 6 years. So after he graduated, so Jim, I'll let you go and elaborate and tell that story.
Well, after I graduated the program,
The 90-day program.
You started the car wash, and you wanted me to be a part of the car wash. I did that. Then I helped with the food bank and food shuttle. And then I started with supplies. And we went from there to 6 years later, I'm here, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do, not to tarnish your legacy, like G said.
Yeah. Jamie had the responsibility. Of the 6 houses, Jamie is responsible for one of the houses. That got 10 men in that house. And Jamie is the one who's responsible for the guys that's in that house to make sure that they are, the cooks are there and everything is there. And what are some of the things that y'all do on a daily basis? Give us what your day look like.
On a Monday, we have to be at Harris Teeter at 9 o'clock to pick up donations. Come here, we separate them and get them to the houses. Then on Wednesday, the same thing, but we have to go to the food shuttle after that to get more food. Then we go to the house and separate it. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we Harris Teeter or all that. Then just talking to the guys, because I've been there. So
You've been. This is some of the behind the scenes operation that goes on with Fathers Forever. When you have 48 beds, and you got 48 mouths to feed, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, it requires a whole lot of food. It requires a lot of coordination, getting the food in the freezers, getting the food in the refrigerators. You and another staff out Ursula is responsible for the supplies. I mean, the plates, the paper plates. You the guys don't not only bring the food, but you bring the other ingredients that the staff need to cook the food. I mean, all the other, you're responsible for making sure all this operation works. That's a big task to be able to have 48 hungry men over 7 different houses or 5, 6 different houses, and we have to coordinate all the food, all the plates, all the supplies to make sure all those men are eating. How does that make you feel every day what kind of job is that? You, G.
This a routine. The same way Jamie does Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Jamie, I'm in my office on Mondays and I call Jamie in and say, hey, you need to go over the list. So we go through each house, make sure who is in their house is supposed to be, discharges, exit dates, whatever the case. We make sure the list is complete for Tuesday. Just after a while, just with anything else, is routine. We do the same thing every day of the week. Whether he's going to the full bank, he also does a scheduling for 5 different houses and 12 different staff members was hard when I was doing it. So I know what he goes through on a week-to-week basis. Doing it. Even though it's the same thing every 2 weeks, you got to make sure you account for people calling out, people being sick, the unexpected things that we see in everyday jobs. So the routine of it is to the point where sometimes we can't even fathom what we're doing because it's already in routine. Like, I'm sure I'm forgetting things. I'm sure he's forgetting things that we do that are very pertinent to what we do. But because we do it every week, it goes without saying. So food bank, scheduling, keeping up with these guys, supplies, transportation as far as timing, classes. We don't have this stat on the sheet, but I started a class, 2 months ago. And we had maybe 7 to 10 people complete the class already. And those 7 to 10 people learned skills to take on their job. It's called ERT, Employment Readiness Training. And out of the guys that we have graduate, out of those guys, they continue to take the class and flourish and do certain things that allows them to go on their job and be promoted from whatever position they are to the next position up. So the routine is every day, is every week. It can be thrown off or it cannot be thrown off. And we all do a good job. If somebody calls out, somebody else covers. So
yeah. So this what we started a few months ago by employment readiness training. What do you do with those guys? What is the goal for those?
Well, it's to teach them skills that they can take on their job and flourish. So, just the importance of being on time,
right?
The importance of being accountable, importance of taking accountability for your actions when you're given a task and you don't follow through. So it's thing that we already experienced and we already know. But some of these guys haven't had jobs their whole lives, so they don't know that. Right. Even though you know what accountability is, when you ask the question, they can't give you a definition because they just know what it means.
Right.
So that's one of the things we do. I'll take a word, accountability, and give the definition of accountability. They, oh, yeah, I know that. I know you know, it's just now we're registered in a different way.
Right. So as we move forward, I want to talk to Tommy now about what he does. We call his title the Mobility Case Manager. Like I said before, Tommy has had his own transportation service. And one of the things that he does, and I'm going to let him talk about what he does, is to make sure these guys get transported back and forth to our partners, our agencies that we're working with. Some of these guys are coming to Wake County for the first time. Some have had a charge in Wake County. They never lived in Wake County, but because they have the charge, they got to come back to Wake County, right, Jamie? And so now they're in unfamiliar territory. They don't have knowledge of the bus routes and how that works. So Tommy, give us a little behind the scene, what you do to help these guys get back with their family members.
Mainly from day one, I can also like intake coordinated counselor when they first come and do a lot of intakes, which we all do. And so we try to find out to get the service these guys need to move forward in our program. And one of the things is make sure they have an ID, the Social Security card. I can help them to direct them in that area. Also, I kind of help them with goods and services. They need mental assessments, things like that through our partner Monarch and other agencies, Southlight, Sigma program. So kind of help them hook them up with goods and services so they can make sure they can utilize all these things they have while they're here.
Right. My used to be, you guys know this, my 20 years experience with Wake County Human Services was a case manager. And case management is so important to, we dealing with people individually to try to help them get their lives back. And so one of the skill sets that we wanted to bring to Fathers Forever, that case management, where we're helping these guys, get back to their houses and to their homes and to their families and provide case management, that stuff that they need to get back that. So you providing, Jamie and G as well, providing those case management services, and yours in particular, because it's a mobility. It's a getting these guys back and forth from Monarch to the office, or from the agency what is the name of it? The artillery court, NC Works.
NC Works, yeah.
And to the other agencies that need, these guys need to get back with their lives. The intake part of it, I think we all do. Whenever a guy comes to our program, the first thing we do is sit down and have an intake where we get the biosocial and all the things. Tell us about that process. What does the intake look like?
Intake is just gather information about them, and so we can put something together so we can guide them as far as case managing and what they needed to work more on, help them find jobs, find out how many kids they have, and find out some of their strengths and weaknesses, and what they need to work on and what direction they need to go.
Right.
Can I pick that off?
Yeah.
Also, we all do it is going over the rules and regulations, not because we want to go over the rules and regulations, is also giving them something to be accountable for. Right. It goes back to the class that I do. if we tell you, okay, we expect you to do A, B, and C, now when you don't do A, B, and C, you have myself, you have Tommy, you have Jamie, you have Mr. Williams, and other monitors saying, hey, you agreed to do this. How can we help you, and how can we make sure that you succeed in what your plan is the 90 days that you're here? That's what comes part of the SMART goals that we do, which is 4 obtainable goals within the 90 days. When I do mine, I tell everybody, you're not going to be no Fortune 500 company owner in 90 days. It's not going to happen. Pick something that you can obtain, which would be getting a driver's license, going to Monarch, getting an assessment, getting the proper medication that you need to be successful after the 90 days.
What are some of the goals that, these are short-term goals that these guys fill out when they come to the intake, but those goals are looked at on a weekly basis by staff.
Yes, I ask them what your 90-day goals are, but I also give them suggestions. Get your driver's license. Get
a job.
Get a job. Check your savings account. ID, Social Security card. Something that they can leave. So when they leave here in 90 days, they can look back and say, hey, I did accomplish something while I was here.
Right. So the 90 days that they're here from 90 days to 120 days, which is not a whole lot of time, but it's better than getting discharged to the streets. And providing those services for those guys during those 90 days make a world of a difference. Getting the place to stay. Jamie, I know that can be difficult. Tell us about some of the experiences you have working with the guys who are looking for permanent places to stay at.
Well, when you're a felon, it's on certain places you can't stay. And it's hard, and it can get depressing. So now it's natural for a guy who's been in prison 7, 8 times to go back because he can't find a place to stay. He can't get a job. And he has nothing else.
Right.
And I think that through Fathers Forever, through the parenting class, through 90 days, through GERT class, this is the first time these guys have ever graduated from anything.
Really? Wow.
So that in itself is something you should be proud of.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, one word, Jamie have experience with this that neither one of us have. I've never been to prison. Probably if I would have got caught guilty, they'll probably I don't want to, prevent that commission. All that to me. But Jamie has had that experience so he sees it firsthand what the guys is going through when they come. Again, I can talk to what it may feel like, but I don't know exactly how it feels. I'm not saying I can't talk to the guy. You don't have to be a doctor to own a hospital. But at the same time, I can still talk to you about certain things. Mm-hmm. But Jamie, I think, brings another dimension to the table when these guys come and realize that, hey, one of the staff, he used to sit in the same chair that I'm sitting in now. And that feeling make the guys feel a lot more comfortable. And so in each one of the houses, we have a monitor, case manager that works third shift at the house. When they get there, so explain to us when they get to the house. Tell us what happens on a daily basis.
First day or just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general, when you come in, you have dinner between 5 and 7. Whatever manager's on duty usually does rounds. He talks to the guys. He engages. When I do overnights, I'm always outside when the guys are smoking, go watch football games together, whatever sporting event is on TV. Just being there to let them know that, all right, you ain't in this by yourself. And I tell everybody when it comes to employment and housing, if you go to the house, 90% of the guys work, ask them where they're working at, because if they got a job, you can get a job. Your situation is usually no different than the one you're sleeping beside. So if they can get a job somewhere, if they're Waffle House, chances are they can get you on there too. So my biggest thing is mindset. I tell everybody, you got first 90 days to start all over again. With that, you need to change your mindset. You can't go into it thinking that I can't succeed because you won't. We have to change the mindset. And I know it's hard with guys being locked up majority of their life. They've been locked up longer than they've been been out. So it's hard to change the mindset, but it doesn't change the conversation that we have. I've had conversations with plenty of guys like, all right, man, it's up to you. Like, only thing I can do is give you the information and hope that you do what you need to do with it. So from far as the how they come in, they eat, they socialize with other guys, they watch TV until it's curfew. We implemented it a long time ago, lights out and a curfew, just because at one point when Jamie was there, we won't know curfew. Well, it was a curfew at the house, but there was no lights out. So they would guys be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they wouldn't do nothing the next day because they sleep all day long. So we had to come in here and implement certain rules. Like now, all right, the curfew's at 10 o'clock, lights out 11 o'clock. That way everybody has a good night's sleep. So when they get up the next morning, they can go out. Some of the stuff that we do now comes from the very first person that I did an intake on. I started. You got a second?
Yeah.
I started, and everybody knew me. I was just fresh, but this one particular person came in maybe 2-3 months after I started. He just knew me as a monitor. I'm not gonna say his name because I remember him vividly. He came in. He spent 90 days. He didn't do anything, and he wound up leaving, going back to his uncle's house. I got word he was on the street later on, and ever since then, I got to think of something to where this doesn't continue to happen. Right. So that's why certain rules that I implemented is for that particular reason. I'm not going to let you stay up all night long, and then the very next day, you're too tired to get out and get a job. So now every house has a lights out, so where everybody gets a good night's sleep. So when you get up at 9 o'clock, you have time, you're well rested to go out, find jobs, find employment, find housing, go to NC Works, come up here, get lunch, and you're not just sitting around doing nothing, watching TV all day long. So that was the biggest thing for me, is changing how we structured. At the beginning, one house, maybe 12 guys. So it was totally different than it is with
48 beds.
We have 48 beds and 5 houses. You have to, as you grow, you have to restructure everything. So that's one of the things that I think for me made a difference, is changing how these guys come in and view the 90 days they're here. Now they get here, when we do the intake, they know they have to get out and look for a job. They know we require them to take classes. They know we require them to say drug-free, so they can be successful when it comes to leaving after their 90 days.
And we expect them to be out in the community on a daily basis from 9 to 5, looking for employment, attending groups, and like you said,
And just, instead of just sitting in the house not doing nothing.
we expect them to do. Yeah. Once they know that, they step up to the plate.
Yeah. Wow. So Jamie, tell me a story particularly that maybe resonate with you. G kind of shared this story. What kind of motivates you to keep doing this work?
It started way back. A lot of guys realize that I've been there.
Right.
But a lot of guys, y'all might not didn't know this. A lot of guys look at y'all relationship and they want that. So
Leaning, following.
Yeah, they want that relationship. So they look at me, I've been there, but look at y'all and they want that relationship with their kids or whatever. And that's something that's what kept me here. Wow. I saw y'all. Me and G had a rocky start when we first got But I saw that with y'all, and that's what really kept me here. I mean, you was rough on the intake, but it won't be.
And to your point, I think it's good to they see us. We don't, even though certain people think we're the same, we don't always agree on everything. We bump heads just like everybody else. When it's said and done, it's still family. He's still my father. Me and Tommy bump heads. It doesn't change the fact that we're still family. And even me and Jamie and other staff members, you can't put a bunch of men in a situation in a closed environment and think sometimes you're not going to have disagreements. It's all about how you respond. And I think, to your point, them seeing that, okay, yes, we can disagree and come back to each other 5 minutes later and still be on the same page is a good example.
Yeah. Yeah. Another staff member who's not here, I want to give him his props, Dwayne Williams, who's been with us almost from day one. We had one house we had for a while, but when we got our own house, Dwayne and Tom actually moved to client. That was in 2018, I think it was. So Dwayne Williams is one of the monitors that work with us on a regular basis.
House manager.
House managers.
House manager.
Yeah, he's not here today because he's out sick. Dwayne is very instrumental in coming up with policy. He is a policy and procedure guru. If you give him a policy and procedure, he's gonna make sure everybody in his house and around his place, he's one of the managers of one of the houses. He's gonna make sure that everybody. And we actually gave him that title now, the enforcement. He's the guru to make sure that the policies and procedures are intact, are in place, that we put in place, that everybody is maintaining that same policy, that same procedure across the board. What goes on in one house goes on in the other house. So, Dwayne, I just wanted to tell the audience about Dwayne Williams that he would have been here today, but he's been out sick. So I guess we got to wrap up a little bit. My staff is telling me time is coming up, but we have. I'm really excited about the future, what we're going to be doing in the future, and how we're going to expand to more houses. Providing again, our houses is not just a place for people to stay. It's not just for them to come and sleep. It's not just it's their house for 90 days, 20 days. So I want each one of you guys to just kind of share from your heart what do you want Fathers Forever to do with this? What do you think we're going? What would you like for us to go in this process?
John Lovers, I'll go on to continue to expand. We've had conversations where I envision Fathers Forever going, our structure, being a household name outside of Wake County in North Carolina in general. Having other agencies, different places. And we already touched on expanding in different counties. Right thing hasn't came up yet, but eventually it will. And the more we grow, the more we can, I just hope we don't lose the passion we have now. I tell people we in the business of giving people 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7 chances because society already writes them off as being just as involved. So we come here, our job is to show grace, show a different side of what it takes to be a man because the world is going to beat you up. You need somebody who's going to hold you accountable, who's going to help you grow. So I make sure that my sons see me work with other men so they understand that even if life knocks you down, even if you get in trouble, you got somebody who's going to help you, and everybody needs somebody. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just expanding and letting everybody know that regardless of what the situation you've been to, you come here, you're going to find a family, you're going to find help, you're going to find everything you need as long as you're willing to take advantage of it.
Well, I think the Fathers Forever should grow, expand, but keep consistent of helping men because what we do is great and we need it. I needed it because of Fathers Forever. I'm a better father, grandfather, person. And that 1,087 guys have been helped in some kind of way, and just keep that consistency because it really helps.
Yeah, as we grow, I don't want to lose the simplicity and the sincerity of helping people, taking people as the individual as they are. And, sometimes people go with things get bigger, they kind of lose that part of why they started, how they started and their motivation. So thanks, Jenna, for that. All right, Tommy.
Yeah, as I say, just expansion also, and that we continue to encourage, motivate, hold these guys accountable for what they should be doing as men, as young men, and also like to see this on a bigger scale. We started small, but one house, and I got 5 or 6. To see a facility, building where these guys can come in, almost like a hotel. Where they can come in, but we still got the same wraparound services. We still expect them to do the same they're doing now, right, but just on a bigger scale. Right. And because there's a lot of guys that need help. And when we first started, we had everything in place, but housing, when we have a previous program, right, and you used to come out and do classes, we free a lunch, We give them a suit. We give them some shoes for to go back to work, but we didn't have the housing part.
Right.
And then all that came into place. And now we have that full wraparound service. So
Right.
I like to see that continue.
So the housing is, if I didn't know where I was going to lay my head at tonight, if I was homeless, that in itself create a lot of emotion. That feeling of not knowing where I'm going to lay my head at can be stressful itself. And so to provide for guys for 90 days, at least 120 days, that security makes a big difference. And we encourage them with the help of the case manager that you guys are doing, with the help of the wraparound services that we all have, with the help of our partners. We have a number of partners. I don't want to name them right now because I'll leave some out and then somebody get mad with me. But we have a plethora of services that we refer guys to that help us do this work. We can't do this work on our own. And I don't need to recreate work that's already been done. I don't need to teach people how to do resume. I have to send them to NC Works. I don't have to create a whole lot of substance abuse classes. I can send them to Sigma.
And then,
go ahead, Tommy.
And that's one thing I'm going to say. Another thing we do, we have our financial literacy or workshop, financial literacy lady, that person that engage these guys when they first get here. She go out and do workshops at least once a month. We also have, from Sigma, we have the fullness substance abuse wellness classes that then come Tuesday and Thursday. So these are other things, other services that the guys get. Like you said, if we don't have to do it ourselves, we know the people professional in the area, so we'll hook them up to.
Yeah, which is a part of case management. That's what case management is to linking a person to a need that he needs. Instead of me trying to do it all, I'm just going to link you. If you need housing, I'm going to link you to housing. If you need a job, I'm going to link you to employment. If you need substance abuse, I'm going to link you to services. That's what case management is. And that's why we felt important to bring that case management skills to follow forever and working with these guys. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's working out so well, that these guys are getting the services that they need. And so I just want to say to my staff, this is just 3 of 22 staff, about 25 people we have working with Father but this is just 3 of them. We have the administrative staff, and they're doing a phenomenal job. We have our media staff, and then we have other staff, support staff. But together, all of us try to make justice serve men who's returning back to the neighborhood to come back with welcome homes. Number 1, you're not a second-rate citizen. And number 2, we are here to help get support to get you back in your family's life, to hold you accountable, make you accountable for your life, and to get back on your and there's a word that I'm thinking about now that I'm writing some stuff. I'm not going to say too much about it. But what if there was people out there to help me? What if I did this? What if I did that? Those are things I'm going to start trying to explore and get these guys another concept, another thing. What if I got my life together? What would happen? What if I spent time with my kids?
What if I did something different?
Yeah, what if I start acting differently? What if I change my mentality about certain things? Instead of thinking about that, I'm still looking at, I can't get that done. What if I can? And one of my mentors was to say, what would that look like? What would that look like if I did get myself together? So now you're creating another whole picture for people to see their future, as opposed to seeing what they did in the past. And that's what we want to create. We want to create that hope. And so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Another topic we're going to be talking about, but I felt like it was important to be able to bring that to the table.
Yeah, I would like to say some of these guys that we get, some of the guys that come in, they hit ground running. They tired of what the situation they be in. They being in and out of incarceration 2 or 3 times, and they fed up with that. And so they move on. Some guys we get come in, they're not ready for that.
Right.
And they end up going back.
Right.
And coming back through our program again.
Yeah.
And now they're ready, or now they're ready to move forward with it. And so sometimes we see a big change in some of the guys that come back a second time.
Yeah.
By one person that G always bring up, and he He left, changed the program, wasn't ready, went back and came back, totally different person.
Yeah.
Now he's ready to apply himself.
Yes.
And that's what he did.
Yeah. And we see that a lot. We don't, sometimes it takes you 2 or 3 times to fail for you to decide that, what if I change my thinking? And these guys do come back and they do hit the ground running. Again, like Tommy said, unfortunately, everybody don't do that. They waste the 90 days, the 120 days. They say they out doing stuff, but they're not. And they end up having been discharged.
We could tell.
Discharged now with nowhere to go at. And they think, they're on the streets.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you again, Tommy and Jamie and G, for coming and sharing behind the scene of Fathers Forever and our transition house, our wraparound services with case management, and the things that we need to help our justice-served men come back to the community and get on with the rest of their lives. So until we meet again, I'll say sumo.
Take part in the Dads at a Distance initiative by giving a copy of I Am a Father Forever to a friend or family member, or host a reverse book signing at your business, church, or organization. You can also contribute by joining the Fathers Forever monthly donor membership program. By becoming a monthly donor, you're directly contributing to the success of Fathers Forever programs and the men we serve. Choose the level of support that's right for you and enjoy exclusive perks designed to connect you to our mission and impact. For more information about this or any other method of support, please visit our website at www.afatherforever.com/donate.
Hello, everyone. This is Glenn Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I want to share an alarming reality with you. 627,000 fathers are incarcerated that have kids under 18. Now, there are 56,000 moms incarcerated who have kids under 18. The reality is there are so many more fathers incarcerated than moms. This is why I Am a Father Forever book exists. Now, I need your help. I am inviting you to help us get this book into as many fathers incarcerated as possible. Here's how it works. For your donation of $22, we will provide a book to an incarcerated father. Thank you in advance for helping Fathers Forever heal fathers and save families.